because people who were going on their luxury cruises and stuff like that were also being petri dished to see how bad COVID could get. Toast, have we done any updates on the ship's passengers whatsoever? Do we even get if they're still alive?
No, we haven't.
And those said passengers that came over from Singapore and China and the Caribbean and so on and so forth, where were they stationed? So do you remember exactly what air bases they were stationed in the U.S.?
I cannot remember worth my life right now. Straight up.
Travis Airport Base in California, in Fairfield, California, was one of the bases that they had taken people who had COVID. And we have backlogs of that also on Toasted Webs. A highly contagious disease with military personnel going in and out, taking care of the patients, also spread the disease. We also had people in Washington that came from ships being stationed there so they could be monitored and watched. How did that go?
I cannot remember. You got to remember, I was pulling shifts and that was a lot of information.
You're pulling shift at Sonic.
Not only that, I went to places on the internet that I should not have gone to find information about the coronavirus.
But that was vital information that was needed. Because along with Toast doing that, and along with me being, because the information that I had got me kicked off of some COVID-19 groups for the U.S. because they didn't want to believe me. I had made very good friends with the French who are French preppers, Jean, bonjour. And they were consistently telling me that this is serious, this is dangerous. You really need to make sure you warn people. Can't save everybody, but warning, getting people educated that this was bad. Bad enough that when we went into the U.S. shutdown back in February, March, around there, many states that people don't even recognize and don't even know are part of the U.S. had their borders closed, meaning they could not get food supplies in. Meaning the military had to come in and bring already prepared food. This is all on the internet. You guys can find it if you can Google it, but it's also, all that information is on Toasted Webs. Surprise. We have been trying to get information out. Now you've got your naysayers. This isn't real. I don't need to wear this mask. It goes against my constitutional rights. Well, people who wear masks have family members who cannot survive being hospitalized. Family members who already have weakened immune systems. You have your kidney dialysis, you have your diabetes, you have your cancer, you have your lupus, you have your ALS, you have your MS, you have your Down syndromes. These are people, normal people's lives. Oh, let's not forget Asperger's and ADHD and so on and so forth, and people who are severely allergic to food. Now, in the UK, they've had more than a couple cases of people having severe reactions to Humira, or is it Amara? Pfizer and Moderna. Thank you. Moderna, Pfizer, and the BioNTech. There are three right there. And let's not forget there's Sputnik. Sputnik is a Russian made vaccine. It's not here yet, thank goodness, but they're trying to get it here. That is supposed to come back.
Watch that one be the only one that actually works.
Right? But there are actual 4. Now, out of all of this, we've had back in July, companies here in the U.S., colleges, everybody you could think of, trying to make their vaccine. How is it these 4 companies could actually get it out and not have the actual virus? Oh, forgot. The virus is U.S. made, that was transported to Canada, then was hijacked and transported to China. The actual pure sample of COVID-19. Oops, I guess I'm probably going to be booted and stuff for that real information because we already know this. Toast isn't going to boot me because he knows this, because I've shared all this information.
Well, we've actually been doing this since, well, actually it's almost been a year
Mm-hmm.
that we've been really tracking this. And it's been one thing right after another.
Oh, and let's not forget, children do have neurological damage if they catch COVID-19. But hey, the government basically likes to say, the U.S. government, and it's been said more than once, you can hear it by a couple of our, from Chief Commander himself, saying that children can't get it. Children can get it.
We know better.
We know better because we've seen the cases that came out of China where children were getting it and having neurological disease. We had seen children in Iran basically being totally normal and coming down with a massive seizure they never had before. This isn't some game anymore. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, and it's basically what now, Toast? What is Admiral Akbar says?
What say about what?
Admiral Akbar, what does he say?
I can't remember.
Oh my goodness, come on, you're nerd just like I am. It's a what? It's a trap.
No, it's a trap.
Exactly. We basically live in an age right now where you don't even know if it's safe to even go out to the food stores because people are licking and touching and contaminating everything. We've even seen people being stupid enough to lick a toilet bowl to get it. I mean, it's not a trend. This is not a trend at all, people. This is serious. It's wiping out people we all know. I mean, people can say, well, who do you know who has COVID? I know of 5 people right now that I speak to daily that have COVID.
And not just some self-proclaimed, oh yeah, I got the COVID going on here.
Yeah, they're not some actor. They're not some paid person to fool you. These are actual human beings that I know. All the way down to somebody who actually takes care of her nephews. And you want to know how they got COVID? Because the nephew's parents didn't take precautions. Everybody thinks it's still a fake. This doesn't go against your constitutional rights, people. It goes against the rights of humanity. When you're not wearing your mask and not taking precautions, you are basically going against humanity. simple, decent, kind people. You're infecting. It's much like anybody who remembers sex education. You are infecting someone else without their consent.
Yeah, I heard somewhere they're actually trying to change the laws on that shit.
They can. The thing that gets me toast is that people who are going about their normal daily lives can meet up with somebody unknown to them who is asymptomatic, and catch it. That asymptomatic person just made 20 people sick without their consent. Where is my right? Where is my constitutional right with people who are actually doing this shit? And Toast is basically wants to say something.
Well, over there, well, we're getting ready to cover the topic, but up there in New York, they're getting ready to do something along that line,
Something along that we saw CCP do. That is haul you out, even if you're having an allergic reaction or a sinus allergy. Haul you out and put you in concentration camps.
It don't matter.
It doesn't matter. We also know that in LA, ambulatory care people can deny you what, Toast? Come on.
Medical care. By the way,
exactly.
I believe it's either in the Constitution or Bill of Rights. I can't think right now, but it says life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So, life meaning your health. So you
life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. What is being taken away?
Exactly.
What is being taken away, people?
Well,
We've got our kids doing Zoom classes and going crazy because they can't see their friends because nobody cares. And then we've got this whole shenanigans of voting fraud, covering up what is going on that is detrimental to our lives. Let's care more about voting frauds than the people's well-being and mental health. People's well-beings and mental health don't mean nothing. Doesn't mean anything. Oh, and let's get on topic of the stimulus checks.
Okay.
Should we?
Yeah, let's start going down the list. Yeah, let's start going down the list here. Let me get the screen up for that. Okay. First up on the agenda this morning, Ohio governor signs gun bill that expands the so-called stand your ground right.
Yep, stand your ground, and we all know what that means.
So what are we talking about with that?
Stand your ground basically means that you can actually get anybody you want if you're on your own grounds, correct?
Yeah, castle law.
And if you shoot, you're standing your ground. If that's what I actually think it understands. Normally, that's not my topic.
Right.
But if you shoot somebody, you can say, I'm standing my ground. Trespassers, right?
Yeah, that type of thing.
I mean, it's basically like me. Well, hypothetically speaking, okay? Hypothetically speaking, my neighbor who's a complete twat knocker. I can say twat knocker, right?
I don't give a shit.
Alright, my neighbor who's a complete twat knocker, who has threatened me and stressed me out completely. He comes over to my house. I can basically open my door on fire. hypothetically speaking. But I don't live in Ohio. I live in Pennsylvania. So I'm standing my ground.
Okay. Moving on to the next topic here. The stimulus checks. This is one that you really...
The stimulus checks. Who has gotten them and who has not? Now, according to the CARES Act, people who are on SSI are supposed to get the COVID-19 stimulus checks, right? Right?
Right.
Well, it also doesn't state that if you're a couple yet not married and are put in somebody else's taxes as a dependent, you do not get the stimulus package. But yet, because you fall under the CARES Act, you still should have gotten the stimulus check, even though the guy that you live with couldn't get the stimulus money from his taxes, correct? Yet, the CARES Act states people who are on SSI are supposed to be able to get it, right?
Right.
Yeah, good luck with that. It doesn't happen. I called the IRS on that.
Well, I didn't get my stimulus check yet, so... No.
There's a lot of people that actually got their stimulus check December 29th. It is coming. $600 doesn't help a whole heck of a lot. That's for damn sure.
Hey, it's coming, and so is Christmas of 2021.
Man, there are more homeless and more people. Now, don't get me wrong. We needed the stimulus. We needed it. Here's the reason why we needed the stimulus package. It stopped people from being evicted by their landlords who couldn't pay their rent because their jobs are closed. Jobs are gone. Jobs are leaving. JCPenney's is going. I was reading the Gap is closing down.
Oh, no, not Gap.
Oh, no, yeah, Gap. There are mom and pop stores that are closing down because they didn't get the stimulus. Didn't get the stimulus, nor governmental backing, because most of that money, most of the stimulus money that people were supposed to get actually went to major companies.
Oh, no.
Oh, and by the way, there are some companies who aren't even paying hazard pay like they're supposed to. Because most of the jobs that are out there right now are risk factor jobs. You got your FedEx drivers, you've got your Amazon drivers, you've got your UPS drivers, you've got your postal services. Oh, and let's not get on the postal service. They're having a hard enough time because Trump's lackey that was put head of the postal services, you know, when we were having voting problems and stuff, dismantled a lot of selector machines.
All right. Moving on to the next topic. Transport patients with little chance of survival to hospitals and conserve the use of oxygen. To conserve the use of oxygen. So you want to dive into that?
I'm sorry, when did it become illegal or not a right to use oxygen? To keep somebody who's alive. Here's how I see it. Say you have somebody in a coma who's been in a coma for a very long time. Now, does a state have the actual right to say they have to reserve oxygen for a patient who's been in a car accident who's in a coma?
How stupid is that?
It is severely stupid because oxygen may be needed, but all you have to do is put it in a fucking can. Excuse my language. I mean, I feel like Spaceballs opening a can of Perrier.
I can see it now. Another I can't breathe protest. Well,
Oh, like the first one with the masks?
Nobody can breathe without oxygen. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Due to your medical hospitals and stuff like that, we can no longer supply you with the air that you need. Here's the thing. What about carbon monoxide poisoning patients?
That sounds scary.
Yeah, it does.
That sounds like the Purge.
Yeah, it does.
Hold on. Let me see if I can get a clip of the Purge going on here.
But it's not a gang of people taking you out. It's friggin' medical physicians. Think about that. Medical physicians being a purge. That's even scarier.
All right,
Our hands are supposed to be our lives are supposed to be in the hands of our doctors.
This is the Purge.
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual purge sanctioned by the U.S. government. Weapons of Class 4 and lower have been authorized for use during the purge. All other weapons are restricted. Government officials of ranking 10 have been granted immunity from the purge and shall not be harmed. Commencing at the siren, any and all crime, including murder, will be legal for 12 continuous hours. Police, fire, and emergency medical services will be unavailable until tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. when the purge concludes. Blessed be our new founding fathers and America, a nation reborn. May God be with you all.
How much you want to bet? That's where we're fucking heading. But it ain't going to be for one day. And there ain't going to be no murders. It's going to be this... The paramedics and doctors deciding every day who dies and who don't.
I mean, that's the scariest idea. And I know Toast is a family guy, and I'm a family guy. Or family girl, excuse me. Now, if our states decided to do something like that, you don't think it's going to be a nightmare for us? What if our kids are severely sick? Is it in the hands of the doctors? Here's another thing. Okay, another scenario. They like to say that suicide is against the law.
Ah, they already tried that shit. They already tried. Hold on a second.
Suicide is against the law. Does anybody remember Dr. Kevorkian?
Hold that thought for just a second.
Bring out your dead! Bring out your dead!
I mean, think about it. They actually took him to court, Dr. Kevorkian took him to court saying that suicide was against the law, or killing people who had severe medical problems that could have been treated. Basically, what LA is doing is saying that no one has a chance to live. I'm sorry if I have to make this a complete statement. It's against the law to do so. As they like to say, it goes against humanity. It goes against humanity, Toast.
Did you hear about the birds in Rome?
The birds having problems?
The crows. The crows, they fell out of the sky, man.
That's been going on for a while in many, many, many countries. Because they don't want to tie in things. They don't want to put in factors of what that actually means.
So, Uh, EMS Use of Oxygen Directive number 7. Ooh, it's a directive. You know, everybody should start getting real scared when you start hearing that shit. Directive.
Yeah, who's directing it? I'm sorry, the greedy politicians who are basically saying voter fraud.
All right, we got to get into the next topic. All right. The SolarWinds hack may have been much wider than first thought. Well, I already knew. I already did my own assessment on the SolarWinds attack. What do you know about it, Bloodrayne?
I have no clue about what or when it happened. I do know that the internet here in PA went down when my son was in class. That could have had a factor to it. When did they happen?
Oh, man.
So, see, the thing is, a solar flare winds, that's a natural thing.
No.
We have no control.
SolarWinds is a software company.
Oh, no, I have no clue, actually.
You bloopered live on air.
I know I bloopered. Bloop, 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 bloop.
Oh.
Hey, at least I haven't pulled a Deadpool yet.
Oh, it's coming.
No,
NASA
trust me, I know.
sounds alarm over giant asteroid en route towards Earth that is almost as big as Eiffel Tower.
Here's me going, next. Now, next. We've been having threats from, asteroids for a while. Here's me going, not surprised.
Okay.
The sky is falling.
NASA is launching a 4G mobile network on the moon.
Why do you need 4G network on the moon? Why? Just like we're going to mine for water on the moon. Why? Why mess the moon up? Why touch it? Go and study it. You've done your studying? Okay, get the hell off. Come back home. We're bored. Whoopee. Oh, it's just, wait, Toast. It's just another way to waste taxpayers' money. Just like Galaxy program. Come on. Guardians of the Galaxy program? Oh, I'm sorry. That's from Marvel Comics. I'm surprised they're not getting fractions on that.
Which brings us into our next topic. Harvard professor says interstellar object is from ancient civilization and more are coming.
I thought I was a conspiracy theorist.
Well, here's the thing about that, right? It was that blunt-looking object that passed by Earth.
Whoopee! Sorry, dude. I think you're kind of smoking a little too much of that hippy-dippy grass.
Shit.
Happens all the time. It's in our written history that other people from other planetary systems have come and mingled. Okay, next story. Aliens. All right, yay. Wait a minute. The Earth is flat. So are my boobs.
All right, moving into the next topic. Lawmaker faces backlash over submitting bill to detain those infected with COVID-19 in New York.
We're getting to the meat of the things. New Yorkers are not pleased, and they should be not pleased. If you are putting people in a death camp, that's basically what it is a death camp, because you do not have the nurses, you do not have the doctors, you do not have the staff to take care of people. You are literally, which we saw in Wuhan, China, and Mumbai, and everything else, Mumbai, and everything else. People died because they were not quarantined. They were in the same room, breathing the same air. That's how TB got really bad. That's how the Spanish flu got really bad, because you're basically putting everybody into a petri dish and saying, hey, your lives don't matter. Where do you get off with that stuff? Where do you get off saying our lives don't matter and you need to put us in concentration camps? Oh, let's not forget, the vaccine has an identification card to it.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yes. That means you cannot travel within your own country, USA, without the identification card of the vaccine.
Hey, what book did we hear that from?
You didn't hear it? It's been all over.
No, I'm talking about back in the 1984 or whatever that book was.
1984 by George Orwell.
Yes, there it is. That's the one.
I got bored. I couldn't read it because it was like a yarn fest. It's like, okay, yeah, this stuff happens. But there is also another book that people seem to forget, and it's been turned into a show because it's on Hulu. Handmaid's Tale.
All right. Next topic. Washington, D.C. mayor is requesting support by the National Guard for tomorrow. For the event happening tomorrow.
It's a major protest. Good. I hope they do some damage. Here's the thing. I'm sorry. You cannot tell people they cannot carry guns, especially if it's for your protection. Because it goes against what? Toast?
Goes against your
what's this?
Yeah, it goes against your constitutional rights. So they're trying to take your constitutional rights in New York and in Washington, D.C.
Oh, and don't forget L.A. It is our constitutional rights to live. It is also our constitutional rights to go about our merry way, but people don't want to understand that. But hey, then again, you have people saying it's fake.
It's called right to travel, and it's not fake.
Exactly. That's what the identification card for COVID-19 goes against, our rights to travel. Goes against our rights. Everything right now goes against our rights. Goes against our rights to be able to congregate. It goes against our rights to be able to have freedom of speech.
And they tried to tell us that this was going to get worse and worse. So, and here's a new one coming out of the Nashville area. A former ATF agent, bomb expert, gives insight on Christmas Day explosion. Do you know anything about that?
Well, seeing that I live in PA, and we just had a bomb explosion happen in Pittsburgh, same MO, but different. It wasn't an RV, it was a pickup truck.
Either way, it's starting to become car bomb after car bomb after car bomb.
And we're not doing anything like that. And that's the thing, is that what information do they not want to get? Because the AT&T building held the voting machines. Okay, we get that. What happened in Pittsburgh, we get that. Brain fart. Is it not our rights to have all votes counted? And the votes have been counted. Votes have been counted. Votes have been tallied. We the people spoke.
We're going to have to do a
We're not being heard.
We're gonna have to do a special show on that tomorrow morning. I think we're going.
Joy.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna have to get up early because it's almost 8:30.
And I will be up tomorrow. Moving on, real quick. Protesters gather in Lancaster County, demand Cutler decertify election results. That's the one that we wrote. Oh shit. Ah.
Oh, you got to my news. Okay, so it seems to me, and don't get me wrong, I get that there are hardcore people out there who really care about Trump. I get that. But his play on COVID, wrong time. He has not helped anybody. I understand people will be like, well, he's our president. You should have more respect for him because he's a chief and commander. Here's the thing. A chief and commander does not go and lie to people about not going to golf courses when he's gone to golf courses more than Obama. Ooh, snap. I did not vote for Obama. Woohoo, I voted for John McCain. Another person Trump does not like was John McCain, and he still smacks him in his own grave. And I respect John McCain because he is a veteran of the wars, and he knows exactly what he was talking about. To help our vets, he could have helped them. We have more vets now that are homeless and suicidal PTSD than ever before. John McCain could have stopped that. Could have gotten better benefits and stuff for soldiers. What has Trump done? Explain to me, what has he done? Downplayed COVID, which has gotten serious. None of you seem to get that. I get it. You're more about, well, Biden stole the election. Well, here's the thing. Biden didn't steal the election. Biden was actually being smart. He didn't have big, huge rallies like Trump did. You've got to look at the actual full pictures. Not only that, your president touted that he had COVID, didn't really have the actual symptoms. Besides, who goes to a hospital and wears a suit and tie? I'm sorry, I would be in my PJ gown if I was that serious. I'm going to get backlash. We're going to get backlash for this, and I'm really sorry, but I've got to speak out. Trump has not helped many who are in need, and that's where he lost his votes, by supporters. That's where he lost it. He hasn't helped you guys with COVID. He hasn't helped you guys with your businesses. You could say, yeah, he has. But has he really? We have truck drivers on the roads as we speak who undoubtedly loves Trump. I get that. But you're protesting for the wrong reasons. Your haul that you have in the back of your trailer that you sometimes don't even know about it, that just says right on your papers, medical supplies, you are holding up hospitals that need those supplies. You're holding up food that needs the food.
Okay, so what about that gun shop owner in Texas who voted for Donald Trump but got his vote switched to Biden? Do you know anything about that?
I haven't heard anything about that on my radar. I would love to know if my vote for John Mabert got switched. Let's talk about voting fraud. If my vote got switched, that's really funny. Because she deserves it. John Mabert deserves it. And my kids are awake.
All right. We'll cover a few more articles and then we'll shut this down. Also, everyone, special document, The Secret of Special Maritime Jurisdiction Exposed. Check it out. You can find it right there on the page, Toasted Webs. Cherokee Sheriff's Office. You shared a post.
Oh, yes.
Tell me about
Cherokee Nation shared a post from Georgia.
Okay.
That's pretty interesting. I really should have read that more, but it was deemed important because it also came up on the Navajo Nations, which is our elder tribes are getting severely hit by COVID, and nobody seems to care. They've had more suicide. They've had many generations die. Many generations, many grandmothers who would tell their stories are gone. See, the elder tribes do not write their stuff down. It's all verbal. It's like a bar from the old times to tell their stories. And that's being devastated. It's being taken away, which is wrong. We also know that back in March, April, and May, instead of PPEs, they were getting body bags.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that.
They were getting body bags instead of medical supplies. And there's my son's first bus, which if he was able to get on the bus, that means I have to get him into class.
Huh. Alrighty then, well, we'll cut this. Alright, well, this has been Toasted and
Bloodrayne and her ranting in the morning.
this is the end of the show. Peace, everybody.